Good morning, Internet. Craig Chamberlin here with CraigTheTechTeacher.com. We're doing IT Life, where I give you guys a nice little snapshot into the real world of IT. My name is Craig Chamberlin, of course, and I've been in IT for about 10 years. Been doing video content production for a while as well. And I work for a wonderful company known as Precision Electric. See the shirt? It's official. Precision-elec.com, where we do industrial motor and service repairs. But this show is powered by patrons. If you're not yet a patron, make sure you check it out in the link below. Patrons are the ones who keep the show going. If I provide value to you, you may want to consider becoming a patron because I'll only provide even more value to you in the future. Can't do it without you guys. Speaking of patrons, top patrons, just want to give a shout out to Jacob Williams of Wild Academy. If you're into Ruby programming at all, or if you're interested in meeting just an interesting guy, check out Jacob Williams. There'll be a link in the description below, as well as Brooke Chamberlain, who's also a top patron, and she works for, or is the owner of AshleyBeigePhotography.com. Some really awesome, unique photography there, and she also provides many services. So anyways, let's talk about today. Today's going to be an awesome day, as usual. Not as usual. Some days are better than others. I'm going to talk about the follower count metric, the value of follower counts. But before I get started on that, I kind of wanted to cover some interesting things that were talked about yesterday. Mostly the fact that I talked about the future of Google Plus and a major hurdle Google Plus had to overcome. And I think they will. I think they'll adapt and they'll overcome. I think it's a big part of it. I don't want to come off as a pessimist. A little disappointed in the direction of video and Google Plus, but don't forget, Google Plus is where I am. I love it as a network. If I didn't find value there, I wouldn't be there. So I'm not writing it off as a great platform. It's just a difficult platform to succeed in if you're doing a live production. And that's just part of the deal, especially with new technology. Hard to know what's going to stick, hard to know what's going to stay. And it's like that even in IT. When you're making a decision on what software your company wants to use or what software even you want to use, it gets very frustrating because you never know where that software is going to be 5-10 years from now, especially today with all the acquisitions. Perfect example is we use an accounting software package here at the facility known as ACS Master. And we implemented it. Took us 6 months to change over, and the headaches associated with the implementation. That's how it always works with software. And then, of course, we received a notification after implementing it that the company got bought out by a different company. And we're like, well, they say they're going to support us in the long run, but we don't know. But that's the perfect example: is your company adopts a piece of software, makes it a integral part of your business, and then you never know where it's going to be 2-3 years from now. And that's just the nature of technology. I was talking to my boss the other day, who's also my father, by the way, family-owned business. I was saying that technology ages in dog years, or you know what I mean? It's like when I was talking about my nephew who was working on servers, he was learning how to build a server on his own already, and he's like 12. I said, back in the day, he says, wow, you're already saying back in the day? I'm like, well, yeah, in IT and technology, we age in dog years. It's like 2 years is like 14 years of advancement. So when I talk about what I was doing when I was my nephew's age, I mean, it's like light years behind. It's like 50, it feels like it's 50 years ago. But technology travels so fast that it's very hard to keep up. And it's the nature of the beast. So lesson of the day, everybody, you've got to learn to be adaptive. And I talk about it regularly on the show. You have to be adaptive. You have to learn to be able to change and adjust on the fly. You have to learn to be resourceful. This is the new climate of technology. And a lot of people think like, oh, I got to get really good at this one thing. That's just not how it works. You have to get really good at acquiring new knowledge and adapting to that new information, and being able to make different decisions based on that adaptation, being able to apply those solutions in a way that your fellow employees, your coworkers can understand. And obviously understand that not everybody, actually most people don't travel at the same speed as you do in adjusting. And so you have to spoon feed a lot of it. I mean, that's a nature of the business, and it's only going to get worse. You can't just get good at one thing anymore. That one thing goes away too quickly, especially in technology. And that's why you always have to keep yourself acquiring new knowledge so that you're constantly keeping up. And a great way to do it is to tap into shows like this, IT Life, where I talk about technology and the adaptation of technology and basically the normal woes of an everyday frustrating job. Or check out a couple other great resources online, great personalities online as well. A couple of my favorites, of course, are like you got Kim Commando. I'm big on her. I think she does a great job. And then you have Leo Laporte, the IT guy, the tech guy. And I like Leo Laporte as well. And there's tons of independent people on YouTube as well. Name your poison. Pick your poison. Lots of great people out there. Linus Tech Tips, Marcus Brownlee. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a lot of great information out there. But make sure you're tapping into those resources. That value is really there. And that's really what it's all about, in making sure that you stay professional in what you do and stay competent. Because the one thing they can't take from you is what you know, right? You can lose your job. You can lose the technology, your software that you've become really proficient with. But if you keep acquiring new knowledge, you got to invest time and energy into making that happen. And if you're passionate about it, it's easy. So remember, you can't be good at everything. Master of everything is a doer of everything is a master of nothing. But get used to being diversified. That's part of the deal, especially in small business. So that's my basic lesson for today. Now I wanted to go into follower counts a little bit. Jacob had posted an awesome spreadsheet yesterday that was talking about the significance or insignificance of the follower count metric. And this isn't just on Google+. This isn't something exclusive to Google+. And I'm sure Jacob's well aware of that. You have, like on YouTube, you have subscribers. On Twitter, you have followers. On Google+, you have circlers. On Facebook, you have, I think they're also followers. But the whole point is you have a network of people who are supposed to be following your content. Well, it used to be once upon a time that number meant something. Back before content was so oversaturated, and this is a regular issue that Chris Pirillo runs into, and now I'm running into as well, is that it's one thing for somebody to get on, you go through all the trouble to get people on the hook, to become a subscriber, to become a follower, to become a whatever. But the problem is that there's so much content out there that even as a subscriber, they're subscribing to so much content that it's very difficult to make your content stand out in comparison. The tools themselves have also done a poor job of encouraging quality content or content producers to stay in front of the face of the users. Sorry about the jump cut, phone ring. The hard part is to make sure, like if you go to the YouTube homepage, for example, the homepage no longer actually does a good job of displaying stuff you're actually subscribed to. If you're on Google+, yeah, it's great that you have all these followers, but your content doesn't show up unless it gets a lot of +1s and reshares, but you can't get a lot of +1s and reshares unless a lot of people see it. So it's really difficult to reach the right people. I'm excited about doing a circloscope video where I kind of show you guys how to do that on Google+ in particular, reaching the right people at the right time. Very difficult thing to do, but the follower count and the follower metric has gotten to the point where it really does mean nothing. In the spreadsheet, he did illustrated that quite well because he took the content from a couple people's feed, and the niche that they're part of, he took just that content and was able to calculate and show that your follower count isn't a significant factor of how great or how much impact your content is getting. It all comes down to whether or not your content is getting in front of the right people at the right time and that they're engaging that content. And really, this is something that we're all going to have to address, all of us content creators. And how do you raise yourself above the fold? Chris says that all the time, Chris Pirillo. How do you get yourself above the fold? And a lot of it has to do with content quality and the value that you provide. And a lot of it also has to do with building real relationships. And that's really what I wanted to get with all this. Your follower count really doesn't mean much. It's all about engaging a real audience. It's all about getting a real audience involved in what you're doing. A small group of people can change the world, and that's been proven time and time again in history. You don't need a huge following of a bunch of dedicated, committed people. You need a small group of dedicated, committed people to your cause, and that small group helps build you up into something a lot bigger. So again, social media is really about engagement. That's why I love Google Plus so much. I think Google Plus is the only platform that offers true engagement on a real level, with the advent of having so many different types of media types you can share, as well as the ability to really have face-to-face conversations on Hangouts, and really kind of get an idea of who the person is on a real level. And that's invaluable to building your audience. And you want to pay attention to the people, kind of like me with my patrons. You want to pay attention to the people who find the most value in what you do. Obviously, you want to pay attention to everybody, but as one person, you can only do so much. So you want to make sure that as soon as you capture somebody's attention and they see value in what you do, that you do not lose them, or you do your best not to lose them. That's what social media really is becoming, because those people are going to be the biggest proponents of what you do. They're going to be the biggest supporters of what you do, and they're going to keep you going. That's why I have patrons. They keep me going. I'm generating content mostly for them, because they see the most value in it. Not everybody's going to get the same value out of it. So remember, social media is about engagement, and it's about building relationships. And very few people do it that way. They think that if they get their follower count really high, they're successful. But that doesn't convert into views. It doesn't convert into sales. It doesn't convert into trust. You're not building a relationship with people. So anyways, here's my soapbox for today. Thank you guys for coming out, and I appreciate it. It's another episode of IT Life. I will see you in the upcoming videos. Plenty of videos ahead. Looking forward to getting another industrial electronics one out today. And I'm going to set up a many cam situation here. Multiple cameras. Should be interesting. Thank you guys for coming out. I'll see you in the next video.